Okay, brilliant. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Ulrika Hervali. I'm based at CSC, and I'm also working for the EOSC Finnish Forum office. So it's my pleasure to have you here today to hear all about the National Node. And to kick us off and give us an excellent presentation on it, we have Jessica Parland van Essen, who is a program manager here at CSC, and who is running the EOSC National Node pilot. So Jessica, would you like to share your screen?
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. Really great to see there's such a broad interest in this. Now, I have quite a few slides here, and I will try to go through them, and then I hope we can discuss and have you can Q&A I'm really interested to have your thoughts and feedback on this, as this is still very much work in progress, and I would say nothing is still set in stone. So everything can be discussed, and these are plans and pilots and testing. So just as a reminder that this is still a candidate node, and the EOSC Federation is just starting its build-up phase. So there are many questions still are open and under discussion, but this is a very complex issue, and the best way to proceed in such a way is just to go ahead and try solve things as you go along, and solve things as they come up, and in an iterative way find out how we can proceed. And I personally I'm really happy with this federation build-up. I think it's a really good way, and I really believe we will get things forward with this.
That event as well.
Okay, so now I think so now you need to tell me where I dropped.
Honestly, pretty much at the start. So I think
Okay.
you can start
So
immediately.
I will now take a quick version.
Okay, that's fine. That's
of
fine.
this.
We've got 40 minutes for the presentation and the Q&A, because after the Q&A, we've covered everything else already. So over to you.
Okay, so I would just go really quickly then about about this background that we in the federation now. The idea with the federation is that now we are building EU nodes instead of centralized, like more hub and spoke system. So we want to build a federation of nodes that would work autonomously. And the European Commission has built this reference node, which is not to be considered as a core service, but more as an example of how things should or could be done. And now we will be testing this federating with these candidates nodes that are here, and you will probably all have heard about these. What is interesting is that several of these also, the national nodes, have AI factories somehow close to them in the same organization or somehow. So this is really a good opportunity also to strengthen, I think, data management. And this is an important part of this work, I think, to bring like data management and good data and good tools to close to the AI factories also. So the governance, at this stage there is no funding for these candidate nodes or the development from the Commission. So as you know, there is this tripartite governance where the Commission and the EOSC steering board, which or is it called steering board? Well, sorry, the board where the that is giving advice to the European Commission on scientific infrastructure questions, and then the EOSC Association, which has over 250 members. So this is a really large collaboration. And here you can see the different tasks of the different groups. So we have the Federation Build-up Group, which is coordinating this these different federation efforts. And today we are looking at scientific use cases, and then on the federation capabilities, especially, then we are looking at some specific solutions like interoperability between repositories and file sync and share stuff. And so there are subgroups, and the chairs of the subgroups also have a collaboration group, which then feeds into the federation group stuff from the agenda. So as you can see, we are heavily involved in the service catalog group, and also in AAI. Finland is quite has been for a long time quite involved in this AAI work. So we are also there involved in this collaboration. So the first milestone for this federation, where we are trying out different solutions and how to build this kind of integrations, is the EOSC symposium in the beginning of November, where we hope that we can then present the nodes and the use cases. And what is important is that we also, during this work, will be updating the Federation Handbook, as this is sort of the description how to do this federation, how to create an interoperable infrastructure. Then you can also see here the link to the EOSC AI architecture. And in practice, we are now working with Open My Access ID. And there are, of course, challenges regarding the policies today, as most of the nodes don't have the opportunity to share their resources across borders in any easy way. So the EU node has some small amount that they can give, and also UDAT has some small amount, and also for instance CERN. But really we need to solve this problem. And also in Finland we are, this Finnish candidate node is now built by agreement with the Ministry of Education and Culture. We have our use policies, and they still are in place and cannot be changed. So we still have this situation that you need to have a PI or a project manager with affiliation to a Finnish RPO to be able to use storage or HPC services that require quota or billing units. So this is this current situation, and this is of course something that also needs to be and will be discussed during this project, that how can we move these resources across borders in the future, because that is really a key thing. So about the Finnish candidate node, we will really try to reuse things. The idea is not to build a new service portal or yet another yet another place to do things, but instead we're trying to create also transform maybe the CSC, the Ministry of Education's Services for Research at CSC more towards like a gateway, a clear gateway for researchers from Finland to Europe and vice versa. So try to federate our services. So this is the approach, and we of course in the background we have the DAHA reference architecture, the open science and research reference architecture. So we have quite clear ideas about how we would support fair, or create fair supporting data services. And this EU node is sort of one way to approach this. And we will, trying to coordinate things that are happening and developments that are happening anyway. We have like EOSC projects like EOSC and Trust, for instance, where there was very much important work done. We have the AI factories and other projects within the HPC side, and we are trying to sort of bring all these together and build integrated, well managed, or like a service portfolio that is then easy to approach and easy to use. And so we are all sort of doing the same things and taking the development in the same direction. So there is a description about the core capabilities that EOSC nodes should have. In Finland, thanks to our structure, which we have with CSC, we already have much of this in place regarding different kinds of federation and interoperability on a national level. So we have many things that are ready to federate as soon as we just have the policies in place. And as I mentioned, that we are looking a lot at DAHA also, and what is the service offering for researchers, and be looking at what are actually the things that the researcher, the end user, should see or can see now easily when they arrive in for instance at CSC. So what we will be focusing on in practice now is the AI and catalog federation towards the EU node. We have some multi-node use cases. We are working especially with UDAT and SURF in the Netherlands. SURF is quite mature and in many ways similar to CSC, and we have previous collaborations, so we are working with them to like test these interoperability and collaboration issues. And then there is this concept of the dataset as a service, which is also in Lumi, the Lumi AI factory, and this is something that we are looking. It's also very highly relevant now in different domain infrastructures, like in environmental sciences and the health sciences. How to manage this sort of data. We have a quite good research data management for research data that is in the repositories. But what about all the other data, all the other data sources, databases, the data sets that are in other environments? They are sort of often lacking metadata, for instance, today. And then we will be thinking about this, what the EOSC node could mean in Finland. We are trying to describe this national node. So regarding the dataset as a service, we are firstly we are trying to agree what it is. What is a dataset as a service, and what's a data product? But mainly, the idea was, as mentioned, to get the data that is today, for instance, in Allas or in Puhti or in Lumio or somewhere else, to be findable and described, to avoid, for instance, that people upload the same huge data sets many times. So we would sort of want to offer a channel to sort of publish this kind of temporary data sets, and also offer ways to publish data from repositories that or databases or something that's now currently not hasn't. It would be important to have, for instance, in the AI factory, you need to have a license attached to every data set. So we need to extend our metadata creation and management to these computational environments. So these concepts with the data product and dataset as a service are things we are working with. And so we are now going to try to pilot this with some data sets and think about data that we have available. There is also already today a list in docs.csc.fi about data that is currently available in Puhti. So these we will try, and also we are looking at some other interesting data sets, large data sets that we know that could be available. We see that there would be many use cases for this kind of metadata, where it could be published in different user interfaces and catalogs. For instance, I think that for a researcher, it's not that important if a data set necessarily if it is in Allas or if it is in IDA, if you are looking for it. So, or if it's already in Puhti. So we should be thinking about this in a more user-centric way, and this is also something that's done, I think, in the EOSC data model, and I think this is really a good thing to start to think about this. But this is really in the very very first ideas. Then we are having this, as I mentioned, the collaboration with SURF, where we are looking for sensitive data. For now, we didn't actually choose like sensitive data in GDPR necessarily, or like health data or such, but more like business secrets. This made it easier. So we will be looking at the MyAccess ID integrations and how we can do this at CSC, and how it can be done in SURF, and how we could build this collaboration. It's not easy today to move data or have data visitations if you don't have the PI. It's the same in the Netherlands as in Finland. You need to have somebody who a project participant who has national affiliation. But these are things that is also, as I mentioned, we looked at in EOSC and Trust. So and we don't have like resources to do much, but we will be trying to, or we will be federating MyAccess ID to MyCSC and the CSC ID to facilitate like the project of bringing people from non-Haka users, like users from abroad, to your project. As mentioned, there are like different resources, and the conceptual like idea in the EOSC is that that data and services and software, that they are all like equally interesting resources for the researchers. And currently we have a lot of data already and catalogs in Finland. So we have the stuff and the data and the material about what we could do. What we are lacking are perhaps the code management. So an important thing, in my opinion, is the service catalogs, because it's important for the EU node to and for all nodes to be able to show which are the services that are inside the federation and that you can access with this same ID system. But there is also there are further use cases, I think, for instance, for integrating in the machine actionable DMPs, this data about the services to get people on track. And I think that there is highly relevant would be to get the domain specific services provided by the research infrastructures described in service catalogs. So we will be trying and also testing and looking at this, that can we have a service catalog where we have where a researcher from Finland can see the services that they can access, be it then in EOSC or in Finland. So this would be a sort of extension of the CSC service catalog. So this is also just the first draft, and we're still thinking about this, and it seems a bit under discussion, in my opinion, still what actually constitutes an onboarded service and in EOSC. But I think that we can think about this from a national perspective, that we have the national federation and we have the CSC services, the national federations, and then we could be thinking about the like larger contexts also. So this is something we are thinking about. Otherwise, if you look at the like information like infrastructure of this Finnish node, we currently have the registers and catalogs in very different places, and this is something I think, and I would like to bring all this closer together so that it would be easier for the researcher to find services, data, publications, software, all in like the same, like in the EOSC node somehow like that. So that's something I would like to aim for. For now, I think we can only create a web page where we present this concept and the paths and links to the different resources. So how to engage? Of course, you are engaging already by joining this webinar and the Finland Forum activities. That's one good way. Then we have also now in the started, or we will be starting up a EOSC working group where we will be discussing the national integration, like what does it actually mean to, what would we like to do with this kind of national node catalog, and how would it serve and what are the issues and how would onboarding go, and so we will be in that group creating the some kind of guidelines and ideas about what it would mean to onboard or enroll in the national node. And of course, you are very welcome to get in touch and ask questions. I will answer them as good as I can.
Brilliant.
So I was now quite quick, so I hope we can.
Yes, I think thank you for being for giving us a shorter version given to the time constraints. Also, this was also going to be mentioned in Jessica's presentation, but there will be an AVOT working group for the national node that was recently approved. And next stages from after the approval is that it's going to be set up. It'll be in the next couple of months, over the summer months, we'll be working with TSV to get the AVOT working group off the ground. And once we've done that, registration will open, and it is really open for all national stakeholders. So if you are interested in the national node development and onboarding services or onboarding data as well, all of these developments, then by all means, you are all warmly invited to join the working group. And we will send an email to all members once that's ready to go. So that's something to keep an eye out for, is the working group for the national node. Then another one that is coming up is a second webinar. So in October, 7th of October, we will give you a second webinar, which hopefully will have less technical issues than the one today. So keep an eye out for registration for that one, likely in September. And in that time, we will tell you what's new and what developments have happened between June to October. So we'll give you the latest information on the EOSC National Node again in October. And another thing to keep an eye out for is the EOSC Symposium, which is happening in Brussels in November. There should be a draft program coming this month, but the registration is not yet open for the EOSC Symposium. Pre-registration will open after summer, and there are limited spaces for that one. So there's a pre-registration, and then the kind of successful registrations will be selected. But if you are or interested in going to the EOSC Symposium, it is of course a great way to find out the latest news on what's happening with the nodes and the federation. So please keep an eye out for that. And an email also went out to members last week. So another current affair is the EOSC Finnish Forum travel grant to the Research Data Alliance plenary meeting, which is happening in Brisbane, Australia in October. So this is a really fantastic opportunity for anyone who might be interested in going. So what is it? Who can apply and how? Well, you have to be an EOSC Finnish Forum member. So if you are not yet a member, then this is a great reason to join up. And when you apply, there's a form you have to fill out. And what we're asking out from you is for you to outline your interest in the Research Data Alliance and in EOSC. Tell us about your work or research focus or your field of study and other efforts to support sharing and reusing of data across technologies, disciplines, and countries. And we particularly encourage early careers to apply for this. So maybe if that's not you, but you know of a potential early career researcher, professional who you think might be suitable for this, please obviously let them know, give them a heads up that this is something that they can apply for. Deadline is the 2nd of July, and there's pretty quick turnaround by 4th of July. We'll have made that decision. So please also apply or encourage your colleagues to apply. Just remember to make sure that you are a member of the EOSC Finnish Forum. And through the grant, you get the registration, you get flights to Australia, you get the hotel covered, and transport to the airport, hotel, and venue. So it's a really great opportunity. If you're not particularly familiar with RDA, the Research Data Alliance yet, you can also find out a bit more information through the EOSC Finnish Forum webinar recordings. So you can go to our YouTube channel and take a look at kind of recaps of past plenaries. Also, just the homepage is there as well, and we'll share these slides after this event so that you can kind of click through directly. But if you have any questions about the grant, there's our email as well. So just feel free to email us, and we will let you know or help you with your inquiry in whatever way we can. So a really great opportunity. Make sure to share it. And with this little advertising segment, I'm very happy to say Jessica is back online, which is both good for the rest of the webinar. So let me stop sharing my screen and let's stop the recording here.